other things in that video. So just when he fixed his life fell apart. So he was definitely cursed. Sometimes we call it bad luck, but it generally falls in line with being a curse. Just like this. Now they look like some of them are gray background panel, even in this particular model. These models, the newer models, but the ones that are here are the white ones. I mean, I don't care at this point. If it's not available, I'm not going to rush purchasing it, which may be Hashem's whole thing anyway. It was the other case was, I think, a recent case, and I can't even remember if it's still ongoing. Or, we saw that one person, somebody. Yeah, the things that tell me to go this way don't tell me to, dissect squirrels. Don't try that one. Something that I'll probably realize it when I see it. Some guy just, he really did have a lot of hard luck. And then when the cops caught him, he admitted to it. It was like burglary or something. But burglary is weird if you really think about it. It's like walking outside. To me, it's like walking outside naked in somebody else's house. But I connect with people, and it's like when they get caught, some of them, they don't, they got psychological issues, and they get caught, and they're just like, so it freaks them out. Because now, somebody knows they're in the house. It's a combination of emotions, different people, of course, different psychology, but yeah, that one was like the one with the shotgun, but it was different. The guy that dissected squirrels and had a leaf fetish. Good looking guy, and his life was picking up, and then it fell apart. Who knows what happened? He probably was cursed. He could have been cursed in junior high, and it just all of a sudden. So here's an example. If your curses are from the Democratic Party, and I'm not saying they are, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just giving you an example. When the Democratic Party comes back into power, then the curses could increase. But then again, they could decrease because the curses that come against the Democratic Party would increase. And they have to use their power to, manage the government. Yeah, I'm going back and forth with it, but I would say we should heal child sex crimes. Ya 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 ya, Rafua. Ya ya ya, Rafu. Oh wait, ya ya ya, Rafa. Ya ya ya, Rafua Shama. I got to come up with that third line when I get a chance. I just couldn't sit inside anymore. I had to come out. Maybe there's a couple prayers going into God. Buy dollar bank. Heal bank robberies and armored car robberies. Ya 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 Rafa. Ya 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 Rafu Shama. No, I didn't go. I usually go in the other way to Walmart. So something took me that way on purpose. And you have to understand, like somebody's grandmother and mother, and maybe some other people are praying for somebody who's going to, commit a crime such as bank robbery or armored car robbery. So that also powers Q. So then we heal it, and then he gets healed or she gets healed. Usually it's a he. There are a few she's. And the person was black that I'm seeing. It was like his grandmother or something. I had a couple people from our church, and unfortunately, that does fit a lot of times, especially drug use. A lot of times, that's all it is. You gotta like arrest the person and everything, but it's from drug use. They're just addicted, and they go out and they commit a big crime. Northern Regional. What is that? Northern Regional? What? This is Northern Regional. I guess Allegheny County. Huh? Oh, I got to heal the cop. No, I'm not actually going into Walmart. I just had to heal the cop, and I'm seeing dollar again, big letters, but it's it says more than one. So bank robbery tree and a armored car robbery tree. So we have to keep healing that. It's a priority. So something's falling apart. Okay. I wish I knew what the other crime was, because it had an active demonic possession moving around it. Yeah, the the Latina uh, immigrant sex trafficked young ladies have been replaced with the doctors in the Congo. They're now asking for help. Like I never knew. Like at a certain point, I did look before and found out that Raguel was connected to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, but I didn't know that until I connect. I mean, I'm Jewish, and I'm like a priest person, but all that Rasta connection. Well, when I'm a spirit, I'm inside with them before I even have a body, a physical body on the planet. I've helped Ethiopia a couple times. Sight, I mean, more than that, but I mean physically in this life. See, that's what the spirits were talking about today. Like I'm doing that same thing here in the body. And again, I'll if people have me in their mind, like in Ethiopia, I'll probably tell them to do some things like help people. Well, that's how I pick up the vibe. How I picked up the vibe that something was wrong in the Congo. The World Health Organization. There's people on the ground that are connected in sites. They could be Eastern, what they call it, Ethiopian Orthodox, but they don't have to be. They don't even have to be Ethiopian anyway. Well, China's helping out with Ethiopian doctors, I understand. They're trying to advance technology there, right? Structure and increase technology in these locations. I gotta get some gas. Yeah, you probably want to heal Northern Regional Police Department. Don't see anything upside down. The sign is upside down at mattress something. Actually, I should look what that says. Yeah. Well, upside down has a lot of implications metaphysically. Good is evil, evil is good. So it could cause one of the officers to dismember squirrels and develop a leaf fetish. Trying to see what it said. Mattress firm. It was upside. I mean, it might be a cue for me to buy a topper for my mattress. It's sounding sexual, so let's heal that there. Well, it just takes one weak moment. Right. I got to heal these kids on these bicycles. Oh, I think they're electric bicycles. Yeah, they've got something on them, causing them to be invisible, even though they got headlights on their bike. And it's like an electric bike or something. Oh, maybe it's a gas bike. Gas station. I think those bikes are illegal now. While they're out here at night. Yeah, there's new laws on all these bicycles. Maybe electric or gas. It's like a mini bike, a mini motorcycle. They're at the gas station, so it has to be gas bikes. I don't hear the engine. It's probably the little two-stroke, like 75 or 100 or something. All right, let me get rolling here. I gotta see if this is on phone. This is Eagle. Oh no, this is the get from. Either one's the same. I have to sign this. Oh wait, it's sign. Oh, it is. There we go. Need my barcode. Gotta get gas before I have to go to the VA appointment tomorrow. Yeah, they're definitely came against it. All that stuff they're doing to me online, that does that also. It causes the fog of the mind. Of course, they're trying to possess me anyway. You got to try to start walking all that, see if I feel any better. Yeah, you got to get the price of gas down. Something that some people don't have to worry about that complain about deals with Iran. Well, for the Democrats, it would have went great. It'd already be finished. but then they start losing credit because they got credit when the Republicans did it to them. Try not to drive my vehicle too much, save gas. So I still have like almost the same gas bill, but I drive a lot less. All right. It's going to be a tough decision for Americans. Do they sell their birthright to the foreigners by electing Democrats, or do they keep on trying to restore their birthright? Well, when you think of the mix, okay, so you see H-1B, right? So once a certain number, again, we'll say people from India, but there are other places, take over the boss positions there, they're the only people they're going to hire. They'll tell you they can't find anybody. But who else do we have in the mix? Harvard, Yale, all the colleges. They're blocking Americans from getting those type of degrees, I guarantee it. Especially conservative Americans. So yeah, it's pretty big. That's why I say Americans are stupid, but these other people took over our country and put our people out of school, education, computer jobs. In the 90s, the whole idea was to bring the people over for the labor, like the factory jobs, and outsource factory jobs overseas because we would all get the computer jobs and the high tech jobs. And what did they do? The H-1B those. Not hard to figure out. And then as the money shifts into these foreign communities within the United States, and they take over the United States because it's all about money. Now, when you're very, very rich, you don't have a problem. You don't miss a beat, but the average American's done for. Now, of course, like people that are in the deep state don't care because that's their baby. People that don't know the right and wrong of being a U.S. citizen, that'll do whatever they ask for whatever kind of money they're paying, or whatever kind of way they're paying. Right? Yeah, something's up with Northern Regional. It's probably cursed. And maybe Allegheny County's looking at the bank robberies and armored car robberies and heal that. So how are they doing for staffing? Are they low? Yeah, look at driving. You have to look to see if I didn't turn my other phone on for voice commands, so I can't get it to Google anything unless I pull over and I don't feel like it. Well, it could be. Again, we see a lot of exodus out of police departments, sheriff's departments. So maybe something like that's down the road, or it's already occurring and it could get worse. It says all states. So again, there might be a law enforcement employment issue coming up here. And again, federal government did hire a lot of people. Yeah, my wife made a left one time And the other car was going real fast. It was still her fault. She should have waited. There was no way to prove the speed, I don't think. And they hit the back of her vehicle. There's a left arrow turn. So again, that might be it too. Be careful. Vehicle accidents. Heal that. Heal Trump fans. Just passed their sign. Whoever took that Charlie Kirk thing away, he's probably a rat bastard. You may have 30 people in the Republican Party. I don't care about Trump, man. It's a game a lot of them play. Democrats were paying better, they'd be a Democrat. Now, me, I support whoever's in office generally. Of course, don't attack my life where I can see it's you. Homie, don't fall on his sword for nobody. Indian people hire Indian people. It's obvious. I tried taking care of your needs. You did nothing for me, that's for sure. Somebody probably came in and paid more than I had, you know? Disgruntled. I mean, I imagine if you rob a bank, everybody that works at the bank, they would be disgruntled, right? Well, you robbed my bank, I'll tell you that. So again, the idea of being disgruntled isn't mental illness or anger or an incorrect emotion. But no, there's a lot of actual fact. See, if I had money, I'd be all over the place seeing everything and telling everybody what to heal and what I could heal. I'd actually be up higher. That's why you weren't supposed to mess with my life. But again, if you don't want to pay attention to Luke and Matthew, was it Luke 10? It's your problem. What's the popo doing up here? Somebody pulling over. I'm getting a left lane here. See a light anymore. Must have got done on crap or something. Or they're checking on a business. Don't make sense. Oh, maybe they went up. Maybe they went up route 220. Facebook, you have all those like influencers like Vic, and I think there are clone pages, and I bet you people are sending them money. So I don't know where to make that complaint. I guess FBI. I'm not sure how it works for sure, but the inference is that they're probably raking in some dough. Speaking of India, They were part of the people that harassed me. Right? They even knew my name. Call me on the phone. Let me speak with Lawrence. Lawrence, give us money. Wish I could have got here earlier in my life. I never even thought of moving to the Pittsburgh area. It's the only place in Pennsylvania that I could probably afford well, right, or well enough. Got to have a better life when I was here. I mean, it's not perfect, but like the idiots that removed the Charlie Kirk sign. Tell you, Mars, to the moon! To the moon, Mars. Right in the kisser. Jackie Gleason there. Just in case they try to say that I said something violent. The Honeymooners. Alice. And Ralph Brandon. I mean, the average person wouldn't even go near my house to break in. I mean, you drive by and my door cam goes, lights up. It's pretty dark here too, so you notice it out of the corner of your eye. Move that. That's the handicapped person. Do you ever notice that the license plate says PD? The wheelchair license plate says PD. Disabilities are big in law enforcement. And the power bank is PD. That's why there's a lot of disabilities, because a lot of people with power in law enforcement, like real power. That means the system's reversed, so you don't get anything. But you're 9 to 5, if that, you know. That's, yeah, the other camera comes on too now. I forgot I had that one on. I have the smart color night vision. The light's got to come on when it's when it detects somebody. You know, there's a lot of people that went to prison in the world, so they don't necessarily appreciate me. It's the one thing about the modern day world and the big prison pop, right? It's actually telling me kind of dark tonight, so be careful. Let's see. I'll pull over. Let's Google something. Allegheny County Northern Regional Police Department, are they having a staffing issue? Northern Regional Police Department is actively recruiting and aiming to increase its force, though it has avoided the severe and debilitating staffing crisis seen in neighboring jurisdictions. Like many law enforcement nationwide, it has faced a shrinking pool of applicants. So no, we're not. Maybe that was coming up. Right, let's heal that. Oh, well, like the mayor or whoever, like that one thing. Just as the cops and they all leave, or they diss the mayor's wife, fired all of them. I think that was the latest one. Oh, it wants me to go this way. Pretty dark out here. Oh, it's Yeshua. I saw the cross when I was leaving. I'm like, why am I seeing the cross at the church here? The cemetery. I used to have a T-shirt. It looked like that cemetery. It was a Chick track. The day Christ arise. It was like this like fluorescent greenish glow. It's a black T-shirt. They were crazy. They were crazy tracks. They're like anti-Hinduism. No, Jews during the Enlightenment period started figuring out about other religions. I mean, they did, but Christianity was probably way different back then. Right? That's why I accepted it. So the whole thing was like here I'm confronted with it with Hannah's life. I don't know, whether they beat the cancer or not. I mean, she's had some ups, she's had some downs, but it's like the whole part of what was supposed to happen over the last 20 something years was I was to try to get somewhere so I could help develop the mind, and it still might work. I mean, it could be happening inside the mind, and any day just open up, but to help people actually see to the afterlife and to understand. It doesn't make death all that much easier, but it makes it easier. Right? The weird part for me is like it's just the whole thing happened with Eliana actually helps me. Like she's the only person on the planet that helps me. I think. I don't know what it is, but because her music helped me, and then like this whole thing with her, there's stuff going on in my mind that is I guess de-stressing or something. It's just a long drawn out thing, and it repels what Satan's trying to do to me, right? Around death and things like that. Been doing, and that's what the deep states do. No good news at all. Sit there online going, get yourself, get yourself back. That's what they do, man. That's their thing. So every news article you look at's depressing. They do that. And then, of course, they got your medical records, so they do that. They put the stuff with your medical records in there. Whatever ailment you ever had. But it's this. It's not that because it was misdiagnosed. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. They want to either kill myself, run to the doctor, or be violent to somebody, or kill somebody. They did this thing where they're trying to get me to like rob a bank for a while. But see, I can see, so I know what they're doing. Like it didn't come out right at first. But I guess it worked to get me out of the government the way it was Oh, they just whacked my head, man. They drugged me and everything. Right? So just no way to stay. I tried. They didn't, but I did. Right? They just said, "Show me the money," and whatever they pay. This place is haunted still. I didn't see it the other times. So what's going on in the world? Timothy Run Lane. This area's haunted. Almost got me up the road there. Yeah, evil's up. Try to heal this area. Yeah, I see. Whenever I come, I see spirits, evil spirits in the mind's eye around here. So I don't know what caused that. Looks like something in history. This is where they should put the haunted hayride, but nobody will probably ever come back again. Ah! So they probably saw that Elihana was a big entity. She's not just a bodily person. She has big spirit, independent of her music, just who she is. So, well, Nazis, they hate her. And then, of course, Jews that know she's a messianic Jew, they hate her. Yeah, definitely. If I stayed in Pennsylvania during the downturn, I'd have been able to buy a house. Wouldn't have had to travel too far to get one. I got a V8 loan thingy. Been a little tight, but I'd have found something. Yeah, it's real dark tonight. It's like Halloween, so I'm not sure what it is. I got to look up online and see if I find it. Like a witches festival. Task force in town. Yeah, some of those law enforcement task forces actually are a one task force crime wave. Right? Come into town and curse your people to crime. I kind of wish I had stayed in Pennsylvania. Did a lot of work for Hashem across the world, but or, United States at least. Like if Deep State didn't bother me, I probably would have never left. He did shit to my mother's head. Definitely kind of crazy. Look online and see what's going on. I don't know if I'll be able to do prayers tonight because I have to go tomorrow early, so probably doesn't make sense. Just need to try to chill out, probably, and try to wind down. Return tomorrow with them if I get to them. Light some extra incense or something. Go online and Google about incense and watch the Christians say it's evil. It just makes no sense. Nothing more Judeo-Christian than incense. Superstition. You're the ones that are uber political. Has to be your candidate or nobody. That's superstitious. Right. Still waiting for my real ID. All right. Stay peaceful. Praise